We are very happy to come to you from the home of Emeritus Archbishop Peter Sarpong of Kumasi to bring you a very wonderful conversation on the occasion of the centenary celebration of Catholic Voice magazine. And as some of you might know, Archbishop Sarpong has been an avid contributor to the Catholic Voice magazine. From his days in St. Peter's Seminary in Cape Coast, he ceaselessly contributed articles to the Catholic Voice for the edification of our readers. And so on the occasion of our 100th anniversary, we caught up with him thanks to his gracious acceptance of our invitation to sit with us and to, feed us again from his wisdom and experience. And so we'd like to welcome you to an interview with the Archbishop, Emeritus Archbishop of Kumasi. Nana, you are very welcome to this interview.
Thank you very much.
And how are you doing today?
Not bad. I got up as usual. I've said mass, I had breakfast, and I thank you for choosing me for this interview. I hope it will be useful to our dear Catholic Voice, to which I was contributing in the 1950s and 60s, and even in the 70s.
We would like you to tell us about your upbringing and family, because we know culture is so important to you. So we'd like you to tell us a little bit about your family and your cultural upbringing.
Not that culture is important to me. Culture is the all-important thing in the life of everybody. Because culture is what makes us what we are. I'm an Asante, not a Ga, because of my culture. I speak the Asante language because I was brought up in the Asante milieu. I was born to two farmers, Asante farmers in Ashanti, in the offensive region in 1933. I was born in the village, what we call a kurasi, called Ayasu. That was how the village was called. When I was born, I think my father had 3 children with one woman called Mr. Nana Mami Bedu, and my father, they were all alive. And my mother gave birth to me as the 5th child of her. I think I saw 2 of the children, not properly, but I can recollect. 2 had died almost at birth. So I was brought up among farmers in Ashanti, called the farm, as I have told you, was called Ayasu. Now I lived with my father and mother at Ayasu for 9 years before I went to school. The circumstances surrounding my going to school interesting because my mother had lost 4 of her children. She didn't part company with me in any way. I used to go anywhere she went. I went. She took me along. And in 1942, that is to say, 9 years after my birth, I was in the Ekurasi with my mother when she gave me some plantain to be brought to the town to my grandmother. When I stepped in the house, I heard my grandmother shouting. She was shouting to a certain man called Thomas Udru. Said, "You say there's no child in this house. This is one." Thomas Udru said, "She is not my child, though." And Thomas Udru wouldn't give in. What had happened was that in those days, my hometown was divided into 2 rival churches.
Okay.
The first church was Methodist Church, and in a part of my hometown called Kokote. The other part was Offensive Massive, where I was born.
Okay.
Now, there was a school at Massey and a school at Kokote, Methodist and Catholic. And the colonial government made the people understand that the 2 schools for the community were too many. So the school that would get enough students would become the one school. In other words, when one school had enough students, students from the other school would join them. So this man called Thomas Udru was going around from house to house looking for children in order to enroll them in the Catholic school. So he told me that I had to go to school. My mother wouldn't give in. In any case, at that time, what Udru said, my mother was still in the village. So Udru said, okay, my mother said, okay, Mr. Udru, there is my child's mother will come to church on Sunday. So if you can convince him or them, because they were father and mother, then well, so the following Sunday, I was brought, my father and mother came to church. My father wasn't a Catholic yet, but oh yeah, he was a Catholic. I'll tell you about that. So Udru went to them, told them that he wanted my child to go to school. My mother wouldn't hear of it, but my father was a bit not reluctant, but he wasn't, he didn't oppose the idea
Okay.
too much. So my father prevailed over my mother, and I went to school in 1942,
Okay.
nearly 10 years after my birth. In the same year, 1942, something happened. What happened was the first Ashanti priest called Tewia Yesre Daniel was going to be ordained a priest, and my teacher, who was a very jovial person, went to the ordination.
Mm.
When he came back, he went to the classroom, and the way he described the ordination, the solemnity of it, the atmosphere, and so on. I said I would like to be one of these priests. That was the cause of my priesthood. Then my father told me that you have just gone to school, so wait when you become an adult. You can decide for yourself. So I waited. And in those days, Marcy didn't have a junior school. In those days, we used to have an infant school, a junior school, and a senior school. But whereas there was an infant school and a junior school, there was no senior school.
Mm.
So all a Mercy St. Agnes School had to go to Konongo or Jamasi or Kumasi or Obuasi or Brikun or Bichim. Then my father said, you remember, you said when you entered school, when you went to school for the first time, you said you wanted to be a priest.
Oh, he reminded you.
Yeah.
Yes. That's interesting.
Interesting. I said, yes. He said, if you want to be a priest, then you should go to Bichim, because Bichim is where the diocese or the Catholic Church has a preparatory seminary.
Okay.
So I abandoned the idea of going to Konongo, and I went to Bichim. And
Your parents would have been very staunch Catholics then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking about how after several years he will remember, to remind you that you said you wanted to be a priest.
He did remember.
Okay.
Yeah. After 4 years, 1942 to 1946, beginning of 46, he reminded me, my father.
Okay.
That's why I went to Bichim. And there I joined other students who were going to be priests. One of them was Bishop Owusu.
Okay, the late.
Of blessed memory.
Okay.
Father Osei became my classmate. Father Okran,
Okay.
he became
Yes.
Priest,
Monsignor, yeah. Of blessed memory.
also blessed memory. And after of the 19, myself, Okran, Owusu, we became priests.
Okay.
The rest, so I went to Beijing for my senior school education. From Beijing, I went to Emisano, present day Saint Teresa's Seminary.
Yes.
In those days, secondary school was 4 years. So I went to Beijing and joined other seminarians from different parts of the country. And I did 4 years there.